Do you need a Payday build with great stealth mechanics, easy lockpicks, incredible team play, as well as great crowd control, and even some other unique mechanics? Then I got the Payday build for you. What's up, world? Straight back over there. We're checking out all things Payday 3. Okay, so let's just jump right into the build. We'll check out the loadout, we'll check out some of the weapons I use, as well as the skill tree, and some of the planning for future skill placements as well. So we'll look at that really quickly. We'll go to the loadout here, and we'll jump into the actual skills itself. Now, there are a few here that really do make or break this build with a lot of different things. There's a lot of cool stuff here that we can get into, and then I'll showcase to you about different things that we can apply to and kind of things that we can swap to throughout the entire build. Okay, so first up, we're obviously going to go with Infiltrator. Infiltrator is a very, very good one. When we successfully pick a lock, we gain Rush, which is super huge. And the reason why we want to gain Rush is because as long as we have Rush, we can actually instantly lockpick as well. So quick fingers, this allows us to double lockpick. It's a really, really cool mechanic there with that. And there's a lot of placements where there are double lockpicks in a row, especially in the beginning area of the map. So that's another good one that we want there. We're also going to combine this with another talent selection tree, which is Escapist. Now, Escapist is one that you could probably not take. The reason being is Escapist only works when you have a mask applied. And so this is a bit unfortunate there, even though when you do the lockpicks, you still gain Rush, but this one you do only gain when you have a mask on. Now, it doesn't say anything in the kind of tree here itself, but that's how it works. And so essentially you can get rid of this talent point and instead come into here, and we'll just go ahead and get rid of that right there. If you don't have enough, right? If you don't have enough talent points, you only get a talent point every 3 levels, so it does take quite a while to get these, but we'll go into Grifter. Now, the reason why we're going to want to go into Grifter is this allows us to have the mask off, and we still gain Rush, which then allows us to get quick lockpicks. So it's absolutely incredible there for us to basically have this ability with that, and we're kind of all basically stacking on Rush there while also getting Infiltrator and some hacker stuff, so that way when we go in, we can kind of get the Rush off other mobs and have that Rush ability there. That way we can get quick lockpicks done. It also allows us to sprint quickly past cameras. There's a few things there with that, and this also allows us to get the 8th section of this, whereas when your mask is on, any civilians and employees within 10 meters that you can see will be intimidated or will become intimidated. And so this is another good one as they'll get on the ground and you can kind of take up there with ties and things like that. So this is another good one in case you're accidentally seen by either an employee or a civilian. Another really good one with your mask. That way it allows you to have some sort of kind of battle there with that and allows you to take control of that situation. Now, moving on to here, we will go into Hacker, and there are a few things that you can do with this. You can get rid of the lure. I've noticed that the lure application on this isn't really that utilized. The camera hack is also quite close, like the range that you can utilize it. However, I really do like to use this as teamwork stuff. There is a few things that you could do, especially with this talent right here, which also tracks guards by going by the camera. If you have it looped, then the guard will be tracked on that runtime, which is really, really cool there. Cool mechanic there so people can see. What I like to do is I like to stay at the beginning, kind of use the camera, go through all of them. If I'm talking with my team, then I like to kind of go through all the cameras, find out where they're at, loop that camera specifically, let them get to the next area, or move. If there's 2 cameras, then you can move the one looking up at the roof basically, and then they can get by it. Really, really good team play there. We'll come all the way through Hacker. This is going to be really, really good. Signal catch. You can answer a guard's radar remotely. There's been several times where there's been a guard that's been radioing remotely, or the radio has been going off and you can't get to it, or you have to run down to it. This one helps out a ton. There's also a few things here, like you can hack a guard's radio to cause a disturbance. This is another really good one for distraction stuff. If someone's getting handcuffed or detained, it gives them a little bit while kind of exit that area. And there are plenty of times where people are going to get handcuffed and kind of get seen, especially if they're not in the right placement there. And so you definitely can use this one. So we'll come all the way up through Hacker once this is leveled. But as you see, we still have to level these up here. And so while you're leveling that stuff, we can grab some of these other perks there. My suggestion would be to research Hacker first, then research Grifter. Then you come up and research Escape Artist, which we'll eventually go into and kind of swap back into. We'll also research into Infiltrator. That's going to give us the Rush stuff with the lockpicks, but you can save that one for last. And then we'll kind of go through here. And also we can grab the Bagger ability here. Once we get that, we can come through here. Throwing knives are also really good to use. And the reason why they're so good is because you can pick them up as soon as you hit somebody, as long as they don't typically it says when they don't break when impacting the environment. However, I've noticed that that could be an edge case there, and sometimes you might not find your throwing knife, but typically you can regen them, and that's the reason why they're so good, is because it's really hard to regen those grenades, but it's really easy to get your throwing knives back. So I do like that one there, and then we can utilize that. But let's go over to our loadout here. Now, I do like to go with shotguns. There are a few things here. People like to go with AR. The problem with an AR is that you just don't get the silencer that early on. So you'll see here that you don't get the silencer until level 6. So my suggestion is to go with a shotgun and a pistol for now, as we do get it super early on. In fact, yeah, you get it at level 2. It's right after one mission. You could use the silencer almost immediately, and it's really, really nice to have on all your weapons, in my opinion. It's nice to just kind of have a silencer there, especially with your pistol. Also, the SA gets it really early, level 2. So the SA model for the kind of marksman rifle will also get the silencer quite early. Pistol will also get silencer quite early as well at level 1, and so you really don't need to level this at all. You can kind of just buy the silencer almost immediately, I'm pretty sure, and so that one's pretty decent. Of course, everybody rocks the pistol. That's kind of a no-brainer there, especially for right now, early on. Now I like to rock the armor bag, but this is kind of user choice. Again, throwing knives, really, really good if you have the no break on environmental stuff. But also you can retrieve them if you hit somebody directly, so that's really good there. Again, overkill weapon doesn't matter too much. We need to be level 40, and everything else is kind of the exact same. Now there is the micro cam, however, I've noticed the micro cam isn't very useful in the infrasonic mine. They're both kind of meh, but I would honestly maybe go back to the micro cam, because at least it's something and you can kind of throw it out. The mine doesn't really help me that much, so I'll switch back to the camera there, as that would be my suggestion with that overall. This is kind of like the starter stealth build going so far. Now this is kind of like you can do this early levels. Obviously, eventually you're going to go full hacker build all the way through here. We'll grab even into Grifter, and then we'll grab Walk to Walk, because Walk to Walk is also really good when we have Rush. We can kind of get through private areas, and we're unmasked. Cameras are going to be really easy to kind of avoid, but then we also have the camera hacking ability, so that way we can help our teammates get through there. Again, really, really good pairing with Hacker and Grifter there, and also Escapist and Infiltrator. Again, these are all going to be mostly maxed out once we get there, as most of their stuff is kind of more run and gun stuff or heal stuff, and if we're completely stealth, we don't need to worry about any of that. Maybe eventually we'll go into Manipulator. Manipulator is another really good one. I'll probably research that over the Enforcer, swap that down to here. But overall, this is pretty much a good starter build. I've noticed that it helps them out on a lot of my playthroughs. But if you enjoyed today's video, like and subscribe, and until the next one, deuces.